welcome back to the garage. Today we are going to be installing suspension and brakes and spindles and maybe tires and wheels depending on how quickly I get through this stuff. So I got a whole mess of parts over on the floor over there, and let's get after it. I was struggling a little bit with the ever tough coil spring compressor that I rented from O'Reilly, but finally figured it out. You got to be 10% smarter than equipment you're working with. But got the spring in. It's a little bowed out, right, because it's at full sag. But I have my opentracker full roller spring perches. They're big old thumbs up. Excited about that. Tubular upper control arms. My Streeter Track big spindle, which uses the bigger bearings. There's more meat in the actual spindle itself, so it's a little stronger, a little more tough. And then I have my Streeter Track tubular lower control arm. So next up, I'm going to be tossing on that guy right there, which is my strut rod. And then eventually we're going to toss that on. So excited. Now that is a brake setup. Oh man, everything went together nice and smoothly. I mean, Christ, look how big that is.
That's what she said.
I have a reasonably sized, medium-sized man hands. This is impressive. I'm really excited. Big 4-pot or 4-piston. I got the 600-pound lowering springs, roller rockers, roller everything. Fancy strut rod starting to come together. Really excited. Next up is to toss a wheel on there and make sure everything clears and looks good. First things first, the wheels look awesome. The extended wheel nut or wheel studs look great. If you saw me struggling there, it's because I don't actually have a socket that is deep enough to get those nice and clean, so I'll have to go invest in one of those. No big deal. But what I did run into is, hold on. You're gonna go for a ride with me. Again, best cinematography ever. Basically Steven Spielberg. All right, so everything back here clears nicely. It's probably not that great of lighting. But you see right here, I had a dynamic wheel balance, and that actually hits right on the upper control arm. So what we're gonna do is we're going to 86 this wheel weight. We'll see how it is. And if I need to glue some what are those called? Weights? I just said the word. On the inside of the rim, on the actual inside of the barrel, then so be it. But other than that, everything looks like it clears great. I didn't record all of the work that I was just doing, which honestly wasn't that much work. So I have my strange axles, and then this is right here my emergency brake. This is the shoe that expands out inside That's a hot mess over there. Oh, disregard my awesome tripod also. It goes inside the hat of the rear disc when I pull the e-brake, and boom, IV brakes. However, with these strange axles, this was originally a solid piece of steel. So I had to drill a hole here so I can get in there and see that silver bit in there. There's holes through the flange, and that's what bolts everything together. That's how you hold the axle on, how you hold the e-brake bracket on, all of that stuff. So I'm just going to toss some bolts in there and see how she goes. All right, lighting is probably not that great, but what I did, per the instructions, is temporarily mocked up the caliper, looking for a gap equal either side of the rotor. Currently it is good, but what you see there is the bolt protruding from that little silver nut. So what I need to do is add a couple shims or a shim or two on this side to pull the nut back out, and that way I can tighten it up and don't run risk of digging that right into my fancy new rotor. All right, that's another episode of Joe is spending too much money on parts. Got the 13-inch and 12-inch brakes installed, got the fancy rotors, or spindles, there it is, spindles installed. Got my ET mags installed and ready to come off the body dolly. But anyway, takeaway is Streeter Track makes some phenomenal products. I haven't used them yet, but seeing Sean's videos and him using and abusing the exact brake setup that I have gives me great confidence. But it all installed nice and easy. Everything went together as it should. Instructions were clear. So can't recommend Sean and Streeter Track high enough. But anyway, that's it for today. Please like, comment, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. And I'll talk to y'all next time.